Well, hi and welcome back to Photoshop Elements Imaging Techniques and Tips. We've changed the format a little bit for you today, and instead of talking about doing something on the computer in Photoshop Elements with your images, we're going to have a little bit of a equipment review. And in order to put something in Photoshop Elements, you have to have an image, obviously. And one way to capture that is with some good lenses. And I would encourage you to check and see if there is a review of a lens before you purchase it. Many of the sites have it, like B&H, they'll have customer reviews. And you can also get some unbiased and more technical ones on dpreview.com and on popphoto.com. But today we're going to talk about the Tokina ATX-Pro D 100mm macro. And this is it right here on a Nikon D80. Now, I really can't say enough good about this lens. I would, the only thing that I can really think of in terms of a negative is that it only comes in Canon and Nikon mounts, and it doesn't have a built-in motor, so it will only focus manually on some cameras, for example like the D5000 Nikon. But I still shoot it on the D5000, and you know, you just have to take a little more time and carefully focus. Now, this is a full frame lens, so that means the 100mm focal length is what it would be on a full frame DSLR or a 35mm film camera. If you shoot it on an APS-C size camera like the D80 or like a Canon Rebel, for example, your focal length is equivalent to 150mm. But it's a true macro, and that means that it focuses down to 1:1 or life size, and it has a constant f2.8 aperture, which really makes it nice. It gives you a bright view inside your viewfinder, and is great for focusing if you're doing it manually and for checking focus. Now, it weighs a bit over a pound, and it has it comes with its own lens hood, and as you see, it bayonets and reverses and goes back on for storage when the lens isn't in use. And the total length, if you're racked all the way back here, is about 3.5 inches. I had it out quite a ways. It has a maximum extension of about 6 or so. Now, one nice thing too is that it has a modest 55mm filter size, and I would recommend that you put a filter like this Hoya HMC Super Multi-Coated on your lens anyway. Now, one of the unusual features about the lens is that it has a single two-way switch here on the barrel, and that gives you 3 focusing range options. You have the full focusing range, you have half life size to infinity, which is great for portraits, and it also has a close focusing only range, which would be half life size to 1:1. If you have a camera, if you want to, that has the built-in motor like this D80, you can shoot in autofocus or in manual focus with just a pull-push of this collar. So now, Popular Photography has a technical review of this lens, and it showed excellent sharpness performance at all its apertures and at magnifications, plus really superb distortion control. And you can read the entire technical review of that at popphoto.com, and I can confirm the image quality from my own extensive testing. And here's another reason that you might want to invest in this lens if you're interested in shooting macro, and that is the price. The big box stores like B&H and Adorama have this for about $400, and if you don't think that's a bargain, then compare it with the Nikon and Canon lenses equivalent within their line. So I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk again. Take care out there. Bye-bye.